I was born in the Barmah Forest on our farm out there. To my knowledge, I think I'm the only person alive today that's been born in the Barmah Forest. My mother's family came here in 1875. My father's family came here in 1938. And I've lived in this property all my life. Because the forest has changed its management structure and it's now a national park, doesn't mean I don't love it still. I still love it. The problem is I'll have to live with the implications of the change in management. We used to rely on the forest to carry our cattle over summer. Now that option's been taken away, so we can't carry cattle anymore. So that's a very sad thing. The history of the Barmah Cattlemen's Association with the years of mustering and horsemanship out there, that's been lost. Even the simplicity of me going out there and sitting on the riverbank with my two working dogs with me. I can't take my dogs out there anymore. That's a very sad thing. My dogs are my best mates. For the first time in my life, I'm locked out of the Barmah Forest, or I'm not allowed to go out there because they consider it to be dangerous because of the floodwater. Admittedly, the VAC investigation went on during a period of very dry years, some 10 or 12 dry years, and the forest probably was the worst I'd ever seen it in my lifetime, as was the adjoining community. So people made a big impact about that the forest was dying because of lack of water. That's nothing to do with the sign on the gate, that's just to do with nature. But I guess the big difference is that a lot of my long-term friends and colleagues who were timber workers, and they were some of the best people you'd ever wish to know. They were the salt of the earth type people, and no longer employed in that forest. They're not there anymore. They were good, honest country people, and those people have been robbed of their livelihoods, I suppose, and generations of livelihoods. It's not as though it's just what they did for their lifetime, but predominantly their fathers did it and their grandfathers did it, and their kids were probably going to do it too. Barmah and Packola are the ones that are mainly impacted by the change in management of the Barmah Forest. Packola being our local community. It's only a small town of 110 people, but has had a dramatic hit from this change of management. Losing the only business in town, which was a sawmill owned by Kevin Swan and his son Trent. They've now shifted out of town, the house is for sale, the garage is closed down, the cafe is closed down, our pub's in dire trouble. You can almost see the writing on the wall that community is probably in its death throes. It may take a few years to happen, but even tourism numbers were down this year, and that was going to be the cure for the local community to lose our traditional occupants, such as timber harvesting and grazing. They said, don't worry, you'll have that many tourists here, it won't matter. Well, tourism numbers have even been down, probably more because of weather than anything else, but that happens with weather. The beauty of the industries, they're there whether it's raining or whether it's dry or whatever it is, they're always there, and they live there and support the community. So yeah, the poor old community of Packola is only a blink if you drive through it, but it's a very important part of the fabric of our regional area. It's it means a lot to us, and it's probably going to die because of someone in metropolitan area deciding that what we do up here is wrong and we should change it. It's part of my blood. If things go really badly here, and occasionally things do go really badly, and you get down and you despair and you think life's going to end and all the rest of it, a couple of hours sitting underneath a tree out there is a wonderful thing to do, and you realise how important, how great life is. Yeah, and it's sad that that's being taken out of a rural community. The danger that the local community have is that we have a major fire, we lose the whole forest, and we lose it for 140 years of habitat. Would be devastating, not only to the local community but for the native animals and birds. I think this was done probably more as a political aspiration than for the good of the environment. I quite often ask the question, people come up and say it's a wonderful thing, we've got to save it. And I ask VIAC, what do you want to save it as? Do you want to save it like it was when white man first got here? Do you want to save it like it was 50 years ago? Or do you want to save it like it's going to be in 50 years' time? And they can't answer me because they don't know. It's a living, breathing thing. It changes and it grows, and that sort of thing has got to be managed. You've got to do something with it. It's like you go to your mother's garden and have a look, and it looks fantastic. The lawns are nicely mowed, the roses are in flower. It looks a picture. The way to manage that is not to close the gate and not let anyone near it. You've got to let mum out there to mow the lawns, or hopefully you mow the lawns for your mum, and prune the roses, etc. It needs to be managed. And it doesn't need to be managed on a scale of a garden, but you get the drift. Yeah. If you want to change something, I'm the one that's got to deal with the problems associated with any changes in management. I'm the one that's in danger of getting burnt out or flooded out or getting eaten out with feral pigs or whatever. I'm the one that should have some, or we are the ones who should have some input into that management regime, so it doesn't have too much of a detrimental effect on our life, and so we can preserve our forest forever, and for our kids and our grandkids and their grandkids.